Hey! So I have a special recipe video for you today. Somebody awesome dropped off a bag of rhubarb for me last night. And her condition for dropping it off, okay, actually there was no condition, but I'm gonna pretend there was. But, okay, so actually she did ask me if I had any good healthy recipes for using up rhubarb, which is super abundant this time of year. And I didn't have any offhand, so I decided to create something this morning. And I plan to try a few other things with it too. But I always used to love rhubarb as a kid, and I think this is a really good recipe and great way to use it. So, yeah, I guess the whole thing with rhubarb is that rhubarb itself is great, but a lot of times people need to put a lot of sugar in with it to make it taste, appealing to them. So it is kind of a bitter, sour taste to it, but if we mix it the way I have mixed it this morning, I think you're gonna like it. So, you might probably already know I'm a fan of smoothies, so it's gonna be a smoothie recipe. And it's quite simple. Basically all I did was I prepared the rhubarb by chopping it up and just bringing it to a boil with some water and simmering it until the rhubarb was nice and soft. The ratio, which I'm going to write all this on my blog too, but I'll just mention it now, is 1 cup of water. Oh, sorry. For every 1 cup of rhubarb, you're going to need a half a cup of water. So I did 4 cups of rhubarb and 2 cups of water. And I used about 1/4 of the mixture in my smoothie. So if you make more, you can use it for a few days in a row. But basically, just boil it until it's soft, throw it in a blender, and blend the cooked rhubarb along with the water it was cooked in until it's just a nice puree. It doesn't take very long because it's so soft. And then what you're going to do, dump 3/4 of it, or if you only made 1 batch, just leave that in the blender, let it kind of cool off for a little bit, or put it in the fridge and use it later, just so your smoothie's not warm. Again, my instructions are getting a little confusing, so just read the blog and make sure you're getting them all right. But basically, this is what it looked after it was cooked. This is after I blended it, I put 3/4 of it in, 1/4 of it in my blender and made smoothie, and the other 3/4 I put in a jar, and I'm going to use it for the rest of the week. So for my smoothie itself, I used 1/4 of that, which would be about 1 cup of rhubarb puree, and then I added a banana, and about 1/3 of an avocado, and about a handful of frozen berries. You can use any berries. I use strawberries. Rhubarb and strawberries seem to be a common blend, and it definitely is good. And one other thing I forgot is some greens. I don't really make any smoothies without adding something green to it, because I figure why not? You can't taste it, and you're adding all sorts of nutrients and fibers, so add a handful of leafy greens. Spinach is awesome, you can't even taste it. Yeah, it makes your smoothie a funky color, but it still tastes great, and you're getting all your nutrients in. So, yeah, a couple handfuls of the greens, and then if you're kind of using it as like a meal type thing, or you're looking for a more complete snack, I added about 1.5 scoops of Sun Warrior Blend protein. I just used the vanilla one. Apparently it's backwards. Everything's backwards. And then I just blended it up, and this is what it looks like. And basically it tastes, you can definitely taste the rhubarb, but it's not overly bitter. If for some reason it is bitter to you, you can always add a pinch of stevia. I didn't have to. It tastes awesome the way it is. So check out the instructions on my blog. I'm kind of confusing at times, and try it out because I think you're gonna like it, if you like rhubarb, that is. Okay, talk to you later.